it was approved.
The project is a transformative project. It will change the livelihood of our people. And the earlier our countries join, the better. And we wish to actually thank the World Bank for coming up with the concept and also for providing resources to support the program. As COMESA, it is our duty and responsibility to support those initiatives that will uplift the livelihoods of our communities.
Formative project. In fact, the World Bank is traditionally one of our biggest development partners as COMESA. Other than Ascent projects, COMESA is also implementing.
The World Bank, I'd like to reiterate our excitement to embark on this ambitious journey with all of you today. And I know we can strengthen our collaboration, take it to Africa.
I'm confident that Ascent program will consolidate efforts in both grid and off-grid electricity connections, and fuels. Government, through the Ministry of Energy, has continued to promote diversification of the energy mix in an effort to mitigate climate change.
Ascent is an ambitious program. Increase access to sustainable and clean energy.
Everything depends on electricity. So Ascent areas because they don't have enabling environment.
This program is being jointly implemented by the World Bank, COMESA. As a region, this program seeks to address that challenge from basically two dimensions. One, that is in terms of the quantity, access, the connectivity, those who can be reached by the electricity.
Now we have a very big project which is going to generate around 2.1 thousand megawatt, you see. So the project was there, but still the infrastructure was not in place to support the people who intended to do the investment in Tanzania. It will be very important for us because we are not going now to experience any power cut or any infrastructure which are not maintained. Now we are going to have extended infrastructure which have cost of most of the product which are produced in Tanzania will be a little bit cheaper than before.
The program was interested for about our government because of and World Bank as a partner that is supporting our country in all the process. So it was the opportunity for us to be joined very all the issue that we are addressing, and then we see there's a good opportunity to be a part of.
We're going to be electrifying, and Rwanda has managed to get that component 270 because the overall total for Ascent is 300 million. And 270 has been allocated to access network strengthening, because we know some of our infrastructures are a little bit old, and just to make sure that as we extend the lines, they are also strengthening in order to avoid blackouts because of maybe issues to do with the old infrastructure.
So in Tanzania, we have around 12,318 villages, whereby we've managed to construct all the infrastructure to all. So we are going to conclude the project by 30 this year. So, but despite of that big achievement of extending the infrastructure to the villages, we still have more sub-villages which are not connected. This will be a very big opportunity for our country now to start extending those networks to the sub-villages. So what we are expecting from this Ascent program, we have the program which is now going to construct the medium voltage lines, which is the low voltage lines are about 50,000, but also to connect around 1.3 million customers. And at the end of the program, we are going to rectify 20 work that Ascent is going to do in Tanzania.
Then the second dimension is the issue of sustainability and quality. It's quality. Under quality, we're talking about the sustainability component and also the clean component.
So by now, operation, we call it sector recovery. That would be helping reducing electricity costs of Somalia. As you know, with Somalia, and the electricity rate is tremendously now is very high, and we are also now encouraging to use ESPCs in solar system to reduce the price, to benefit for the stakeholders, universities and health authorities, and also a business community.
Providing what we call tier 3, tier 4, and 5. Tier 5 involves electricity cooking. Tier 3 is more about improved cook stoves, where you can use maybe wood, firewood, as opposed to the 3 stones which were used back in our village.
Welcome back, delegates. So at this point, I think we are ready to resume.
We will lower,
For those that are outside the room, we are ready to resume. If we can just be assisted to just alert those that are outside the room that we're ready to resume, please. I think we will have Dr. Malama on standby. He will be the one that will be giving us the next. Welcome back, colleagues. We will proceed with the program. And as earlier announced before we went for the tea break, we will be proceeding to the facility. Before this, we had the PPF, and now we will go to the facility that will give us more insight regarding the targeted technical hence our planning, our policy environments, and our strategies in order to attain the goals that are set within Ascent program. And the one that will be giving the presentation to inform us what
Thank you very much, MC. I tried. Okay, so I think we'll proceed, and then as the participants come in, they'll join in wherever we are, and I'll try to be fast, given that the time has we are already behind schedule. Yeah. COMESA and diagram. So this is the COMESA regional energy acceleration platform, and it gives the different components. It basically shows the different of REAP. And so you see, I think we talked a lot yesterday about DMRV, Project Preparation Facility, the session which has just been completed. And then we have the advice, is a transformative solution which is designed to empower participating countries with tailored, demand-driven expertise. The key benefits of the advisory support facility one is that we will be offering customized solutions. You come to the facility and you tell us what you need, and we try to meet your specific needs through the facility. And secondly, it's accelerated. Again, as you know, the Ascent country-specific programs, they are starting at different times. And there are those of you who are ahead than others, and there are those of you, maybe you join next year or something like that. So it means you can leverage the regional platform to country level. Instead of waiting for your facility to come in next year, you can come to COMESA so that we can support you even before your country comes in place. And of course, I think there will be different types of capacity building which are relevant for Ascent programs. And of course, access to expertise. Different areas, so you can benefit from that. Yeah, now in terms of the delivery model, thing from this graph is that the support that we'll be offering, through this facility is it's demand driven. So of course we can alert you, to you, tell you, okay, we have the advisory support facility and this is what we can offer. But ultimately, you have to come to us and let us know what your needs are. So don't wait if you don't hear from us. Of course, if you look at this graph, you'll see that the first point there is that COMESA security tier request forms to member states. That is not something that we'll be doing all the time. Maybe we can do it or not. Yeah. So then there are 6 priority areas under the advisory support facility. One is geospatial planning, and then we have the MTF service. We've already covered them from maybe yesterday partly, but I'll go into them into the next slides. And so we will support all these areas, priority areas, by developing model policies and regulations and supporting their operationalization. And thirdly, we will be supporting harmonization of technical and quality and roadshows to mobilize financing. So the 6 priority areas, priority number 1 here, which is shown. Obviously, we know, I think most of us as countries, we want to know how we are doing in terms of, providing electricity access or energy access to our people. But I think the issue is, and this is where the multi-tier tracking framework comes in. So you can see here, there are different attributes for example, electricity access attributes. So few hours in a day, how reliable is the connection? Things like voltage quality. Does it endanger, the issues of formality, especially I think for the utilities? You need to know, is the connection legal or is it something that was done illegally, And of course, safety issues you can get through the multi-tier tracking framework, and this is also support that we'll be offering, through the SEF. But of course, we also, specifically in cooking, these include exposure to emissions, cooking convenience, fuel availability, fuel affordability, stove and stove safety. And I think you have this information also as a policymaker. It will help you also in your planning processes, because you know exactly what you need to deliver, basically to your people. So we will be embarking on a procurement process to have basically consultants that can help us, support you at country level. So, yeah, I think that's what I can say about this. Again, also in terms of productive use, energy or, having access, but it's about also what you do with that access. And I think we've heard that productive use promote. And so in this case, this is also one of those focus areas that we will be promoting. And so basically, I think the issues that will be covered under productive use include, policy, culture, maybe also other sectors. So we can support for you, to put together teams to make sure that there is buy-in from all the concerned sectors. Then, of course, market and investment studies. So we are actually in the process of launching a regional study, or what kind of challenges are existing in the region in terms of promoting productive use. So even at country level, this is something that I think we can support. And again, testing the appliances, certification, performance standards, and also requirements, market assessments, awareness campaign, and behavior change instruments, result-based finance. In fact, as a government, this is an area that you are interested in, clean cooking. So we can, basically, you can see that I think it's a wide area of, we also, will be providing support on carbon assets, generation and monetization. I think you heard yesterday again that through this process, we can support you as countries to achieve that objective. And so we can support assessments, for example. So we can support that process of registering the carbon market analysis and advisory. So basically, I think standard advisory. So basically, I think what kind of regulations, we see that ESMAP has been doing a lot of work already in this area. And also I think later on, maybe in the next slide, I'll talk about the climate compatible growth. We've also been doing models, least cost electrification ways and investment needs. So it will show you, what is the cheapest way of you reaching your goals, and how much. Carla will come and talk about this. Yeah. So now ESMAP, which is basically an arm of the bank, okay, those are links. So we will share these slides with you, and those are links. So those are announcements for training. So you can just go on those links, the the rest of the slides. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malam, and thank you very much for the organization manager in the international partnership team at Climate Compatible Growth. Just for context, CCG, as the short for Climate Compatible Growth, is a UK FCDO-funded research program with partners around the world to strengthen energy planning and investment capacity. We do this with open source tools, open data, and hands-on training, and we involve all in the country. So I was asked to briefly give you an idea of what this partnership with all these fantastic entities and will look like. So the upcoming collaboration between CCG, COMESA, Ascent and SMAP is capacity building and technical assistance, where we develop a sustainable capacity building model, helping countries to take ownership of your we envision to help you, government, with learning the skills and to be able to use the tool yourself, but also to teach you how are you with skills where you can come back after this type of trainings has gone. And we heard from them that they were amazed from how much time it was saved by attending these schools and how much they were be able to taken months, if not years. Since then, we know that governments, after have used these tools for government planning, university have built them into their about this. And that's the power of this tool when they are put into practice. So to give you just some example and complementing on what Malama has just said, with Onset and the Global Electrification Platform, can plan clean cooking transition with clear health and environmental benefits. And with financial tools like MinFin and FinTrack, you can connect national energy view Ascent countries here in the audience. First, open source modeling tools embedded in the national energy planning, teach others. And third, practical outputs that can shape the policy and advance the discussion and ideally mobilize finance in your country, so attract investment. So in short, this partnership is about the long-term ownership country process so that you can drive your own transition in your own terms under your own assumption. I want just to highlight that this central to us, and we know that Ascent and the COMESA have set up a very ambitious targets, and CCG is very happy to contribute to make sure that we advance on sustainable capacity, faster electrification, and real impact for all the people across this region. So my in this tool, in this opportunity, please speak up, come to us. You will have my contact, but also the colleagues' contact. Please a consultant or someone else to do it, and it will take a lot of time. What if instead you are the one completely able to do that little change, and it will take you nothing compared to what we staying in contact in the near future. Thank you.
Who was giving a high-level explanation, was specifically referring that this is a demand-driven experiences, but how they have benefited over the years and how they're looking for.
That houses while also tapping into this financing. Two, it has enhanced our quality standards because before they are distributed, and will clear stoves, especially for the improved Ministerial guidelines, clearly highlighting what tiers are supposed to be distributed and provided or disseminated to the population, is actually meeting the international standards as an improved cook stoves.
Thank you. You are developing your clean cooking strategy. And I would like to request you to inform the audience about the process.
We already had what we call a biomass strategy, but we realized that as more technologies, more challenging issues come up, everyone living in urban areas need to have access to such high-level tiers. Three, of course, we realized disseminating stoves only is not going to provide a solution. Provide people with improved cook stoves, you don't provide them with pallets, briquettes, you don't revise your partners in ensuring that they are aligned with our national goals.
Thank you so much. So from Rwanda, I would like to move to, Wesley, you are the Assistant Director of the Ministry of Renewable Energy in Kenya. And what we'd like to know from you is that Kenya, to electricity access, Kenya had been in the forefront. So I'd like to hear from you that how do you identify the right opportunities, which one to focus on? How do you engage with the private sector? How do you support them? If you could share that with us, that would be very helpful.
With regards to the electrification access and the way we identify opportunities, we do it through and with the data-driven planning. We have the geospatial planning, which universal electrification by the year 2030. So geospatial mapping identifies areas with an electrified population, optimal grid versus off-grid solutions, and also identify least cost pathways. There is also another planning which we do in the planning will guide expansion to ensure a cost-effective growth. The third, engage the private sector, because we understand that collaboration with innovators and industry associations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Wesley. I'll also have a follow-up question to you. You're also currently focusing on developing a productive use of energy strategy. So from that angle, could you share with us that how do you expect to benefit from this facility as you develop this strategy?
To the productive users of energy, allow me to also highlight some how we promote those opportunities that have been energy acts. We had the Energy Act of 2006, which embraced the participation of the private sector in the energy sector. And under that Energy Act, feed-in tariff regulations were developed, and we saw the participation of the private sector in the generation space, thus complementing the government's efforts to provide enough power to match the demand. And to have an enabling environment for the investments, such that we have a clear license, such that we have a clear licensing procedure. We have a very strong collaboration with development partners to expand. This includes addition. Another area is the area of financing models.
Go beyond the electric sector. For it to go beyond the electric sector, you have to go to the agriculture sector, you have to go to the water sector, you have to go to the agriculture sector, you have to go to the water sector, you have to go to the SMEs, you already benefiting from several technical assistance facilities. Some are from SMAP directly provided to Madagascar to promote electrification.
Question Madagascar, en fait, l'assistance technique, le conseil consultatif joue un rôle, les aspects financiers pour le modélisation financière afin de mobiliser le secteur privé. L'aspect mise en œuvre et l'aspect technique. Commençons par les études techniques, la conception du projet technique, et ensuite le suivi et évaluation. Madagascar, nous avons mis en œuvre actuellement, nous appelons planification, en fournissant de modélisation géospatiale, qui va nous servir de point de référence public énergétique intégré qui donne également des options de voir la possibilité d'optimiser le potentiel dans l'œuvre avec les projets qui sont en cours dans le programme national. Ensuite, il s'agit d'une avancée très importante pour nous dans la planification en général, qui n'a pas encore été réalisée à Madagascar.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, hello? Yeah. Same as we heard, productive. Hello. To promote public institutions, Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education. So again, it's a bit challenging than only working within your own sector.
Existe programme national financé avec le projet LEAD et encore des lacunes pour réaliser jusqu'à la fin pour atteindre donc l'objectif. À travers l'assistance technique, nous avons pu donc réaliser et mettre en œuvre donc en ce moment qui sont déjà et également avec le projet TESIM financé par la Banque mondiale. Nous sommes en train de électrifier environ 1250 centres de santé en fait 1000 écoles et 750 CSB, ça veut dire qu'il y a environ 2000 que nous allons encore électrifier dans le projet TESIM. L'assistance technique qui est vraiment essentielle donc pour nous, pour faire préparer tous ces projets et pour la planification de tous ces projets. Donc c'est vraiment un levier stratégique permettant d'harmoniser. Donc c'est pour ça que l'assistance technique est vraiment essentielle et primordiale pour nous, pour pouvoir mise en œuvre donc jusqu'à l'atteinte de notre objectif public. Pour la question des lacunes qui existent encore. En fait, il y a des infrastructures publiques qui sont électrifiées, malgré nos efforts que nous avons déjà ici. Les principales lacunes concernent premièrement la coordination interministérielle, parce que du côté du santé, ils ont aussi son programme de développement de santé. Bien mener des actions coordonnées. Ensuite, sur le volet technique, il y a une nécessité de guide de dimensionnement adapté, donc en tenant compte des moyens des systèmes logistiques. Face aux catastrophes naturelles et également donc, sur le volet économique et financier, encore demande d'appui pour les études de modèles économiques fiables, donc en fonction de chaque type d'établissement qu'il faut renforcer. Sur le volet durabilité, nous sommes en train d'étudier et développer un modèle énergie as a service, EAS, que nous sommes en train de développer. À part ça, il faut aussi mettre en évidence la formation sur les lieux, puisqu'il y a beaucoup de centres, 3000 que nous allons électrifier. Donc, on aura besoin donc, pour que les équipements, les pièces de rechange soient faciles à trouver pendant. La nécessité de mettre en œuvre donc, un système digitalisé, de MRV plus déjà avec Odyssey pour le premier 500 CSB. On aura encore plusieurs CSB électrifiés. On va encore utiliser Odyssey, mais on doit donc on doit trouver donc l'interopérabilité entre les deux. Le premier projet avec le deuxième projet. Aussi, l'autre système, plateforme que nous avons déjà aussi utilisé, ce système de plateforme d'un seul système plateforme que nous allons adopter et que nous allons faire confiance que le décideur va.
Our last country panelist, Mesfin from Ethiopia. I mean, for Mesfin, I have a very different question. I mean, we have covered clean cooking to carry out a multi-tier framework survey, which gave you a lot of insights about how your people are benefiting from access or different tiers of access. I would like to know that
how the Ethiopia electrification program is started. Yesterday, my friend for 10 years, up until 2018, 2017. And through the implementation of that program, at that point, some 9 years ago, we thought about it, and that will bring about an accelerated kind of electrification in Ethiopia. So this strategy, few strategic elements has been identified under each pillar. And following this, go universal electrification at the end of 2025. So the program has been launched in 2017, and in about 8 years' time, requires a lot of resources, and there are a number of strategic elements that has been included in the program, and in that program, connect 14 households to the grid and expand the grid to 65% of our population. And again, 5.7 million. Not a long time after, in 2018, we went to a second iteration of the National Electrification Program. By that time, there were two important studies that has been official. First study is the MTF study, and thanks to SMAP for providing technical assistance to make that study available. Study, we have came to understand that our access rate was not what we think was. 10% of this access is contributed by grid electrification, and 11% is through off-grid electrification. This is a major finding to go to the second iteration of the National Electrification Program, redefine our targets, redefine our baselines, and so it says the MTF comprehensive approach to service delivery defines access as the ability to avail energy that is available when needed, reliable, of good quality, convenient, affordable, legal, healthy, and safe for all. So in all these attributes, the MTF study helps in terms of all these attributes. So this really helps us to, first of all, frame our target, which really influences our policies, strategies that came afterwards. The baseline targets and timetables of the NEP, as well as the strategic visions of the program, have been updated with new technical information, which is MTF survey findings that during the first year of implementation and with acquired experience. So this study has been running through 2017-2018. So in 2018, we did our National Electrification Program 2.0 and able to launch it afterwards. The findings for each of the attributes further informed the sector-wide approach of the government and specific interventions and technical assistance and implementation support activities, as well as the investment requirement for successful implementation of the electrification program over the years. More specifically, the information on willingness and ability to pay have been factored into the implementation framework of the off-grid program and subsidy program in support of the poorest of the poor to ensure, yes. All right, okay. All right, okay.
So I actually stopped Ms. Finn because I thought I have a second question for him and he may answer to that question. You talked about NEP2, National Electrification Program 2.0, but now you're focused on National Electrification Program NEP 3.0, right? MTF survey in 2025. So can you also please inform us that how this NEP 3.0 will benefit from your lessons from the MTF survey before and the current one that you're doing? If you can combine them very...
Links of the MTF survey, which is an early, very preliminary findings, so it is yet to be official. Definitely we will definitely use it to inform our National Electrification Program 3.0, which is under preparation. Some of the targets that we are planning to in terms of off-grid electrification, and some of the strategies that are going to be defined in the National Electrification Program 3.0. So in the MTF survey, the recent study, so the access rate, I mean, just to talk a little bit about the preliminary findings, the access rate hasn't showed much of an improvement over the course of the last 5-6 years.
our other country representatives. They talked about clean cooking, productive uses, public institutions. Could you also touch upon very briefly how do you see these interventions benefiting from advisory support facility?
Yeah, it's a great question. And indeed, first thing I want to mention there, we cannot see financing. And it's the same example on mini grids. Financing alone will not do the trick. You need the whole menu of technical assistance. You need, indeed, what was mentioned also earlier today, you need a business model that includes, and then for cooking, it makes a lot of sense to straight away look into e-cooking and basically leapfrog, or basically straight away make the step from cooking on grids give an opportunity for that. So it requires integrated thinking across sectors, looking indeed at productive use of energy in agriculture. I think many of the bigger anchor loads, this facility really started with, it needs to be demand driven. Yeah? Because the realities in the countries where we all work are very different. Levels of technical assistance one country might need at this moment have been beneficial. So it needs to be demand driven, responsive to the needs and the context that are in country. With that comes as well that TA providers, including SNV, fly in and fly out modality, not a consulting modality trying to do quick fixes, but really working alongside partners in country. Great to have that starting point as a demand driven facility. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Martin. So from the panelists, my last question would be, her question. I'd all ask you to mention in 30 seconds, not more than that, one thing that you demand from, in 30 seconds, one thing that from every country that you would demand from Ascent Advisory Support Facility. So think of it so that when Naomi finishes her answer, you don't spend too much time thinking. So Naomi, I mean, the question that I'm going to ask you, I think, is very close to the heart of the country's GAP, is gearing up its support and its structure in providing technical assistance and advisory support for these country development monitoring units under M300.
Thanks, Rehan. And you are all champions for staying this long. Thank you very much. If you can hear me, clap once. Very good. Thank you for the opportunity to join this convening. I will say when Ascent was first announced with $5 billion committed by the World Bank, it was one of the most exciting times in my career. And then Mission 300 was announced shortly after with 30 billion, and it has been growing ever since. And the reason these things matter, right, it also puts us as the development actors, as the governments, as the private sector in these countries, right square in the middle of delivering on all of these ambitions. So those things are very exciting to me. So I am the mother to 3 boys. My eldest son is 13. And the things I worry about, will he have a job after 2030, right? And so I think a lot about will have a job when he finishes university, right? And that's what we all care about. And what does this have to do with CDMUs? So compact delivery and monitoring units are these units that we are recommending as mission 3, and time is running short. And so without the embedded capacity within governments to really drive delivery of these compacts, it's going to be very, very challenging. So one of the things that we are doing as the Global Energy Alliance for People and Planet is that we've set aside $10 million to provide this embedded capacity. And these structures, we are not, as it's been said here, all of these things have to be demand-led. We're not coming in and dictating how this could be structured, what is the best way to do it. The best we can do is say, this is what we've seen in compacts. And so the last question from Rehan was, how do you access this support? So it's a demand-driven facility. It's here to complement what COMESA is already doing, what SMAP is already doing, what SNV is doing, what all of these development partners are doing in countries with technical assistance. And so if you would like to tap into this facility as a country, as a government, please reach out to you. Endless photos of my boys, but after that, we can talk about structuring CDMUs. So please reach out.
Thank you. Thank you, Naomi. That's a very encouraging words and inviting them to come to you. So as I said, I'll pass on the microphone, and then in 30 seconds, please voice your demands.
Thank you. We need tea. Yeah? Looking forward to actively work with COMESA. We've already started with working with CDEF, but we want to leverage more on this support so that we can be able to continue the process that we started with SMAP of achieving our universal access in clean cooking goals. Thirdly, there is something that government always overlooks when it comes to behavior change. They want to invest in projects, tangible projects, but honestly speaking, stones for cooking. Now we are talking about moving to tier 4, 5, improved stoves. So they need to be awareness. So we're looking forward to work with COMESA to provide very important, moving to clean cooking solutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Energy access is not enough, and we need support in the productive uses of energy, ongoing electrification efforts into more tangible socioeconomic impacts. Thank you.
So we already mindset change, behavior change, and support for strategy and productive users. Let me hear from Ethiopia and then Madagascar.
Okay, thank you, Rehan, again. So like I said, technical assistance areas are yet to be charted out or identified in that program preparation. So definitely once we identified them, definitely we will approach energy. That's the one area that we have a huge gap because we need to work a lot in that area to reach out to our communities with distributed kind of energy solutions. So we do have a gap in the regulatory framework, policy framework, advisory facility to come forward and support us.
Merci. Comme vous le savez, élargir l'accès à l'électricité jusqu'à 80% d'ici 2030. Donc nous sommes actuellement énorme. Donc la coordination de toutes les parties prenantes est vraiment fondamentale pour atteindre donc, cet objectif neuf. Surtout les aspects techniques et financiers, la durabilité et tout ça. Nous allons donc de l'Ascent pour nous aider donc à accélérer dans l'atteinte de ces objectifs. Merci.
So first of all, to commend the World Bank on the Ascent program. We're living in a world now where there's really need going down in many cases. So to see multilateral support stepping up like this, that's really great. And I really commend COMESA and TDB for also taking that challenge. This is a huge challenge. We're all, for your country context, responding to the context and the needs in your countries, combined with those regional instruments that can be very complementary. And it's a huge opportunity first elsewhere. That's related to financial instruments, that's related to policy instruments and regulations. It's a great opportunity, and if that's a huge opportunity.
Thank you, Martin. Now, do you have anything to say for 30 seconds?
I always have something to say, Rehan. So yeah, this is the support from COMESA, from the Global Energy Alliance, from ESMAP. The support is available, reach out for it. And also, as Martin said, the peer-to-peer exchange might be more valuable. You know, the scarce resources that we have, let's make the best use of them.
Thank you. So this is coming to an end. And at the end, I would like to not only thank the panel, it's quite a long time and pretty late. So let's have a clap for all of us. We'll take a picture.
Recording stopped.
very productive session. 5 years to go to 2030. Over 660 million global still without power, without electricity. 85% of the population. Increase to financial solutions. We're looking at policy frameworks. Thank you very much for the 2 sessions that we've had, one on PPF and the other one on advisory support. So now hand over to Dr. Bernard, who will give us the key highlights for the sessions that we've had for the day. And shortly after that, we'll have
Dr. Maria for being the moderator for the better part of the afternoon. You are free to add or subtract after my at the end of the program, we're going to do a detailed and long tenures. At the end of the program, we're going to do a detailed and long tenures for infrastructure financing across 26 African financing across 26 African countries. We were also not in underserved markets with more inclination towards women entrepreneurs. The program was designed to entrepreneurs. The program was designed to scale distributed renewable environmental and social risk management practices. The points of discussion or discussion points. It was highlighted and limited or discussion points. It was highlighted and limited collateral was emphasized. It was also emphasized. It was also the need to leverage innovative financing solutions. It was noted that RBF programs need the role of RBF programs to incentivize performance and ensure that funding is linked to actual sustainable investment requirements. Session 2 was on Ascent Zimbabwe. Session 2 was on Ascent Zimbabwe and Uganda. Shared their perspectives on integrating decentralized renewable energy and clean cooking in high upfront costs for renewable energy systems and limited costs for renewable energy systems and limited access to long-term credit, which make it difficult for cooperation and shared solutions. Section 3 was on expanding renewable energy in Africa. government agents silos which hinder effective coordination, and slow down project implementation with using a pay-as-you-go model to distribute solar products, making solar energy more accessible to low solar water pumps, freezers, by reducing freezers, by reducing financial risk and encouraging innovation. The risk and encouraging innovation. The one-stop shop for renewable energy investors to streamline processes and reduce bureaucratic barriers. Yes. Initiatives and initiatives and in the section it was highlighted, the following was highlighted as it in the section it was highlighted, the following was highlighted as it provides support through grants, technical assistance, capacity building and helping projects become investment ready. Helping projects become investment ready. The PPA facility with the objective of providing patient equity. Its goal is to provide long-term equity funding for distributed renewable energy. Since 2016, Get Invest has facilitated. Since 2016, Get Invest has facilitated an investment volume of the next session focus on scaling renewable energy in Africa. The panel explored various aspects of scaling renewable energy. Under ZUA, they successfully electrified hospital. There's One Power in Lesotho, building mini grids in mountainous regions, emphasizing the importance of regulatory support and technical assistance to overcome geographic and logistical challenges. Solid business models and supportive regulations are all crucial for the sustainable growth of renewable energy projects in Africa. Will be provided on demand basis. Countries need to be proactive in requesting support in this regard. The success of technical with grid access for 65% and off-grid solutions for 5.7 million households. The second phase integrates insights that brings our action for the day to an end. I don't know if what will capture all the information that we believe is necessary and pertinent to our discussions of today. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let me call upon
Dr. Zavanda. So from my side, very quick update, which will not take more than 30 seconds because I know that that has been an intense day, many insightful conversations, presentations. But for the 9 a.m. session, we do expect everyone to be here in this conference room. So thank you so much.